Welcome back to our program. I'm your host, Wu Ruiguo. In this segment, we will continue our conversation with 3 U.S. presidential scholars, and they're all from the States here in Taiwan to attend a summer camp. I'm going to start off this segment with a question to Kevin. You have meetings and, of course, some exchanges of ideas, impressions with the young people here in Taiwan. What's been your impression of them so far? Are they any different from you or very much the same? Because now we're living in a globalized village. We're only one email away from each other. So what did you think that pretty much the case in Taiwan?
Well, I was very surprised because these students, even though they're from a different culture, they speak a different language, they have much the same goals as Americans do. They want to get a good education, they want to get good jobs, and start families. And they're really not that different.
But how did you think the communication? Was it easy? I mean, how good is your Mandarin or Taiwanese?
My Mandarin, I can listen to it well, but I can't speak it very well.
Did you improve on this trip?
I think I've improved a little bit, yeah.
How about Taiwanese?
Taiwanese I can't speak at all.
But how about their English then?
English, their English is pretty good.
So you don't think there was a problem in terms of communication?
There was no big problem, no.
What did you guys talk about?
We talked about, we were assigned into groups, and we were assigned to talk about how we could promote Taiwan in the rest of the world, like the tourism industry. And
but that sounds heavy.
Ooh, I don't know.
you can tell us, or maybe you just talk about the kinds of movies you like, or the kinds of music you listen to, or the kinds of program you watch on TV?
Well, like, I think we're too different in those respects.
Because?
We just
we get HBOs here and other things. We're not so different.
Yeah, some Chinese songs we've both listened to. A lot of movies we've watched before. So.
How about you, Faye? I mean, your conversation with them, were you talking about some very conscientious topics for the younger generations of the world?
Sometimes.
But
we also, I was surprised to find that we watch some of the same TV shows. A lot of the same movies are here. I remember just yesterday, one of the girls was so excited to go see the movie Public Enemies, which is
Johnny Depp,
which is really big in the States right now. And my girlfriends at home also are really excited to see it. So I thought
we all went to see because of Johnny.
So I thought that was really interesting that they also have their own movies and their own music, but they also are very in touch with the American culture.
Talking about movie, you guys said that you saw the movie Cape Number 7 the other day. What did you think about the movie?
I thought it was beautiful, especially the scenery that they had of Taiwan. I thought it was a good movie to watch.
But did you think that, were you able to connect with the time, the people, the place of the movie?
It was a little bit different from some of the other movies that I've watched.
Of course.
But I really liked the feel of it and the way that they showed the country.
How about you, Brian?
Yeah, I thought I connected pretty well with it. There were some parts of Japanese I didn't understand, but I thought it was pretty good. They had subtitles, so we were okay. I think I might have saw a 7-Eleven that was in front of my grandparents' house, but who knows? There's so many of them.
All right, but in terms of your meetings and conversations with the local youth,
over lunch we talked to two Taiwanese girls. They were quite excited that knowing that we were from the U.S. and my friend was from England. They weren't expecting us to be there actually, so they were quite surprised, pleasantly of course. But we talked about music and how we don't know how any of their music and they don't really know so much of ours, but we know a few, so it worked. And then we talked about the food, the taste of the food, the texture and how dry it was or how wet it was. Basically the drinks there and everything. Yes.
Good. But these are people roughly your age, right? Or are they a little older or younger? About the same.
Well, most of the people on this trip are actually college age or have already graduated.
I mean, the people that you met in Taiwan, they're about your age, right? But how's their school experience different from yours? Like, you guys, Brian's going to Princeton next year, starting in September. and you're going to University of Indiana. And how is that different from their experiences here, going to local universities and colleges?
I'm not sure about college-wise, but because I'm not there yet.
Okay.
From what I hear, it's quite similar, I believe, just college students, college life, away from the parents and try to survive on your own. But high school, I heard that they have to study a lot more. They have 补习班 after school, while we, on the other hand, have sports activities and extracurricular activities and clubs, which is very different from going to school for 10 hours or so.
Okay, but Faye, you're already in college. You're going to a very prestigious university in the States. And how's your experience at college level? Did that topic ever come up in your conversation with the local youth?
It did. I think that we might be similar in the sense that my school specializes very early on, and from what I hear, they also need to choose what they want
major.
to very early on. This is not customary for a lot of this American schools, but mine in particular, because it has an undergraduate business program, they do ask that we choose a little bit quicker.
Good. And Kevin, I'm going to ask you that, despite all the commonalities that you may have with the local youth, what were the areas that you found a little difficult or a little more difficult in terms of communicating with the other youth here in Taiwan, or in terms of just making a connection?
Well, I think the biggest difference was that these people lived in Taipei while I live in a town or a city of about 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And like metropolitan life is very alien to me, I think.
Okay.
And I didn't make that connection.
Okay, but what do you do, let me ask you, on your spare time?
My spare time.
Other than school and community service, play sports?
Yeah, I play racquetball at the YMCA.
Okay.
Try to.
Okay. But do you play organized team sport?
Oh, no, I'm not good enough for that.
No, are you too modest? Do you play hoops?
Pick up games with my friends, basically.
Good. All right, you know that Kobe Bryant was in town just
oh, really?
Just the other day. Yes.
Oh, wow.
So we're not that much different.
Okay.
We'll get NBA official preseason game here in Taiwan in October.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the first time in Taiwan. The tickets already sold out.
Wow.
So there's another subject you may want to communicate with the local youth here in Taiwan. How about you, Faye? Did you find anything that's a little more difficult in terms of making a connection with the local youth?
Something that's difficult. Well, definitely we grew up in different areas because Taipei is very metropolitan, and I came from an even smaller town, just 8,000 in the town, where I couldn't walk anywhere or take public transportation anywhere. So I think they might have been a little bit more mature than I am in terms of that, and more street smart, and they know the city better.
Of course.
But I've definitely been able to learn from that, and I'm really happy that I got to meet them and learn from them.
And you, Brian? Anything difficult in terms of making a connection?
Other than like kind of the language barrier, is more of basically they're from a city and an island with 30 million people, I believe, and 23 million people. Okay. And I'm in a state with only 3 million. I'm not sure, but I'm from a town with 25,000, so I get a little bit more than Faye, but it's still quite small town, and West Virginia is very rural, and just adapting to an island with so many people on it is just not so easy to do in 1 week.
Okay. We talk about people roughly your age. How about the people that are a little older than you? I've seen that you have a chaperone here that accompanies you on different visits. I mean, how do you find it difficult or easy in terms of communicating with them?
I found that many people who are like older than us, they may not know English as well as the younger students.
Yes.
So it's a bit harder to communicate with them. But other than that, it's
But you do have some extended family here in Taiwan, right? How do you communicate with them?
I mime and speak Chinese at the same time.
Okay. But do you find it? Do you have somebody your age group, in your extended family? Cousins?
Well, actually, on my mom's side, all my cousins are much younger than me.
Oh, okay.
And on my dad's side, all my cousins are much older than I am.
Okay. So you're caught in the middle.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. How about you, Faye?
I have a couple of cousins who are around my age, but there are some who are a lot older. Okay. Yeah, so every time I come back, there's a new baby to play with. Oh, okay. But their Chinese is actually better than mine.
Okay, yes. How about you, Brian?
Yes, I have a cousin that is 6 years old, I believe, and he lives in Taipei, so it's easy to communicate with him. A 6-year-old Chinese is about my level, so it's all right.
All right. For the remainder of this segment, if I pose the question that for those of young people watching our program in Taiwan who are thinking of maybe one day traveling overseas to the States and study, what would be your advice? Since the three of you have been exposed to two different places and two different cultures, Faye.
I would definitely say that everything is a lot bigger.
Yes.
You have a lot more free space to work with. But I think that the Taiwanese are very disciplined, so wherever they go, they'll succeed.
Okay. Brian?
Yes, I agree. It's very big there, much more grass.
Okay.
But other than that, it should be not so hard to adapt to U.S. culture and lifestyle.
Good. Kevin?
I would say learn English as well as you can because not a lot of people speak two languages.
Okay.
But Americans are very accommodating, so there's that.
Good. We're going to take another break, and we'll be right back to Taiwan Outlook. And we're going to continue this conversation with three outstanding U.S. presidential scholars. We'll be back.